Wow, can't believe it. The first half of 2024 is in the books. As we quickly march towards year end, let's discuss what happened in the mortgage and housing markets and what to watch for in the week ahead in this week's Mortgage Market Update. Inflation remains a concern around the globe. 2 years and 7 months after Fed Chair Powell admitted that high inflation was not transitory, we are still dealing with the threat of higher inflation here and abroad. Last week, both Canada and Australia reported hotter than expected inflation readings, and in both cases, it was met with central bank rate cut chances fading. In the case of Australia, that country is likely to continue hiking rates. The bond market is global, so if inflation and rates stay higher globally, it puts upward pressure on our rates at home. This story was the main reason for our spike in interest rates in mortgages over the past week. Now, here at home, numerous Fed officials have been very clear about their position on inflation in the U.S. They all sense that it will persist and likely rise above current levels through the end of the year. At the recent Fed meeting, the Federal Reserve forecasted inflation to bottom out this month with no further moderation for the year. And because of this, they do not see any meaningful moderation in interest rates, hence their forecast of just one Fed rate cut later this year. Now, housing sales are slowing. Existing and new home sales reports were weak in response to continued high mortgage rates. In the case of existing homes, prices continue to climb nationally, but at a slower and healthier pace. We're also seeing inventory continue to grow for the first time in a while. If these developments persist, it will put existing home sales in a better balance going forward. In the case of new homes, the current sales rate has elevated inventory to a historically high 9.3-month number. New home builders are being challenged, and here's what National Association of Home Builders Chairman Carl Harris had to say about the weak new home sales readings and challenges for home builders. He said, persistently high mortgage rates are keeping many prospective buyers on the sideline. Home builders are also dealing with higher rates for construction and development loans, chronic labor shortages, and a dearth of buildable lots. Japanese problems can be U.S. problems. This past week, the Japanese yen fell to a 4-decade low versus the U.S. dollar. This is happening as the country attempts to normalize its monetary policy after decades of the government controlling interest rates and holding them at or below 0%. For many years, the Japanese government's 10-year bond rose over 1% for the first time in 13 years last Wednesday. This story is worth following as Japan is the largest holder of US Treasury debt with over $1 trillion of treasuries. There is some chatter in the financial markets that if the yen continues to weaken against the US dollar, Japan may be forced to sell some of its enormous treasury holdings and use those proceedings to buy the yen to keep it from continuing to decline against the US dollar. If Japan were to start selling US treasuries, it would create downward price pressure and upward rate pressure. Bottom line, there appears to be little path for rate relief in the near term in the face of higher inflation threats. Of course, this story can and will change. Fed Chair Powell said if they see unexpected weakness in the labor market, they will likely have to change their position on interest rates and cut sooner and more often than currently expected. Now, looking ahead, this week is a short one as we celebrate Independence Day on Thursday, July 4th. However, the economic calendar is filled with potential fireworks, including the minutes from the last Fed meeting and the important jobs report on Friday. As I mentioned previously, if we see a surprise weakness in the labor market, the Fed could change its current higher for longer rate position and cut rates sooner. Some on Wall Street are betting this is going to happen. Now, as we wrap things up here is a peek at current mortgage rates to start the week. Feel free to hit pause for the details. And as always, thanks for hanging with me for this week's Mortgage Market Update. Be sure to like, comment, and share. I'm always here to help, and I look forward to funding your future. Have a great week.